Hi guys, I hope you're well and welcome to the next vlog. Now in this particular vlog, I want to discuss some real key principles that females need to understand when they're trying to lose body fat. So the idea for this video came actually from one of my online coaching clients who's also a personal trainer. He's working with a female client at the moment and he was asking me about her kind of current calorie intake, and his initial thought was, well, it's already pretty low, I don't want to be dropping it any further, but she's not losing body fat, what's going on? And here's the real key takeaway that females just need to understand is, unfortunately for you, you just require significantly less calories and also a lot more cardio than males do to actually lose body fat. Unfortunately, just because of hormones, your biological makeup, you just require a slightly more aggressive approach with regards to being consuming less calories and also doing more cardio. And I think this has almost gone full circle. I think maybe 5-6 years ago females were too far the other end. They were consuming way too little calories, doing too much cardio, and therefore they're losing a lot of muscle mass within the fat loss phase. Whereas now I think there's been a shift too far in the other direction, with people believing they need to be eating more calories to lose body fat. But again, we need to just remember that we need to be within a calorie deficit to lose body fat. Ultimately, if you're not losing fat, you're not losing weight, that therefore means that you're not in a calorie deficit and you need to consume less calories and also increase more cardio to continue creating the energy deficit need for fat loss. So I think this is a big mindset shift for females, just to appreciate that yes, you do require less calories, more cardio to lose body fat, and if you're not losing fat, you need to make a change to either drop calories or increase energy expenditure for more cardio so you continue losing body fat. Additionally, it's really important to note that if the calories you're consuming seem low and you're still not losing fat, just realize and appreciate that these figures are just temporary. So when I'm working with the vast majority of my female clients, a lot of them are consuming between 12 and 1500 calories per day, which seems extremely low, and it is relatively low, but it's just important to note that we're using these just temporarily to achieve that individual's fat loss goals, and then we can transition into a muscle building phase or a maintenance phase where calories increase. But I think there's a big difference between what people think. Sorry, my dog's just trying to jump straight up and sit on my lap. I think there's unfortunately a big difference between how many calories people think they should be consuming, how many calories they actually need to lose body fat. Now with that being said, it's really important to know that we do obviously have two goals in the fat loss phase. One, to lose body fat, but the second is to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. And that therefore means that we do want to be consuming as many calories as we can while still losing fat and performing as little cardio as we can while still losing fat. And that's the key distinction, while we're still losing body fat. And that therefore means that, again, if you're not losing body fat, it means you're not in a calorie deficit and you need to drop calories or increase energy expenditure for more cardio. The next big thing to just remember is, as I mentioned many times before, is that fat loss plateaus are perfectly normal. So you may have been consuming more calories previously and seeing good fat loss progress, and then all of a sudden your progress is stalled. This is normal. There's going to be multiple plateaus met within any given fat loss phase, and that's, again, just your cue to either drop calories further or increase energy expenditure from more cardio. So just remember there will be multiple plateaus along the journey. That's just your cue to make a change, and then you'll continue making progress again, then you'll plateau, and then you'll need to make another change. So look to make approximately a 10 to 15% drop in calories from either carbs, fats, or both. It doesn't particularly matter as long as protein's kept constant. Remember that the daily protein target and the daily calorie figure really are the most important factors within the fat loss phase. So dropping carbs or fats, or a combination of both, is what you want to be dropping, or add an additional cardio session. In short, you need to either drop calories or increase expenditure for more cardio to continue creating the calorie deficit. Next thing to consider is just compliant. If you're not being 100% compliant to your nutrition targets or training targets, it may just mean you need to just be more compliant on what you're currently doing, and then you'll start seeing progress again. But if you've been compliant for the last week and you've still not seen a 0.5 to 1% weight loss figure, which is what you should be striving for, because that will allow you to maintain more muscle mass in the fat loss phase. If you haven't seen that, again, you're not in that calorie deficit, you need to make a change. Next thing to consider is your menstrual cycle. Obviously, a certain periods of time you're going to hold more water, and therefore that can really mask fat loss progress on the scale. So it's important to really consider this when you're measuring your progress. If you're in a period where you're holding more water, it's worthwhile just waiting until you're not holding water, and then you can be a little bit more objective with, okay, have I actually plateaued, or was it just a little bit of water retention? So if you're in a position where you know you're holding water, sometimes just give it a little bit of period of time until you know you're not holding as much water anymore, and then reassess. Again, if you have actually reached a plateau, you need to make a change. If not, and you actually do start seeing progress again when you're not holding as much water, keep doing the same thing until you reach a plateau. So again, this is just reinforcing that realization that unfortunately just require less calories and more cardio to lose body fat, and just realizing and appreciating that you may have to go lower in terms of your calories and do more cardio than maybe what you first thought. But just remember that key thing: if you're not seeing fat loss progress, that means you're not in an energy deficit, and that therefore means you must further reduce calories or increase energy expenditure to continue losing fat. But again, as mentioned, just remember that if you feel like these current figures are too low, current nutrition targets are too low, just remember they're just temporary until you've achieved your fat loss goals, and then you can always increase them when you're entering a muscle building phase or a maintenance phase. So hopefully this has been useful, because I think that unfortunately there is a bit of a disconnect between what people think they should be consuming and what's actually required to lose body fat. And the only way you know whether you're consuming the correct calories is whether you're actually seeing fat loss progress or not. Again, if you're not seeing fat loss progress, you're not in an energy deficit as long as you're being compliant. So that's just so important to realize, that you will likely need to consume less calories and perform more cardio than you first thought. But again, appreciate that's just temporary until you've achieved your fat loss goals. So thank you very much for watching. If you're still yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so you don't miss an episode, and make sure to like the video if you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much.